You felt it in your gut before your brain even caught up. The shift. The distance. The way she used to light up when you texted. And now crickets. Maybe she's taking hours to respond, canceling plans last minute, or giving you those one-word answers that feel like ice water. Here's what's really happening. She's not just pulling away from you. She's being pulled toward something else. And that something might be another version of you that you haven't met yet. What I'm about to share isn't some win-her-back manipulation tactics. This is about understanding the psychology behind why women lose interest and how to use that knowledge to become the kind of man who never has to worry about this happening again. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap for not just handling this situation, but emerging from it as the most attractive version of yourself you've ever been. Let me tell you something that might shock you. When she pulls away, it's actually a gift. I know that sounds insane when you're sitting there analyzing her last text for the 15th time. But hear me out. Most guys in this situation make one critical mistake. They focus entirely on her. What did I do wrong? How can I fix this? What does she want from me? But here's the truth. Her pulling away is rarely about what you did. It's about who you stopped being. Think about when you first met her. You were probably confident, had your own life going on, weren't constantly seeking her validation. Something changed along the way, and she's not responding to the change. She's responding to the loss of what attracted her originally. The 6 strategies I'm about to share will help you understand exactly what happened, how to course correct, and most importantly, how to become the kind of man who attracts healthy, lasting interest from high-quality women. It's not what you lost, it's what you stopped being. Here's the brutal truth about why women lose interest. It's almost never about one thing you did. It's about the energy you stopped bringing. When relationships start, there's natural tension. You don't know where you stand. She doesn't know where she stands, and that uncertainty creates excitement. But somewhere along the way, most guys make a fatal error. They try to eliminate all uncertainty by becoming completely predictable. The 3 energy killers. The validation seeker. You started needing her approval for everything. Your mood depended on her responses. The people pleaser. You stopped having opinions, stopped challenging her, became a yes man. The future fantasizer. You started planning your whole life around her before she was even fully invested. Real talk. I had a client who was dating this amazing woman. Everything was going great until he started sending good morning texts every single day, always being available when she called and constantly asking, "How was your day?" He thought he was being romantic. She thought he was being needy. The moment he became predictable, she started looking for excitement elsewhere. The psychology. Women are attracted to men who are growing, challenging, and slightly unpredictable. Not chaotic or unreliable, but men who have their own mission and aren't afraid to prioritize it. Your reality check. Think about the last month. Have you been the guy who's building something exciting or the guy who's waiting for her text to determine how good your day will be? The difference between these 2 men is the difference between magnetic attraction and gradual disinterest. The man in the mirror holds all the answers. This is where most guys want to skip ahead. But don't you dare. This section will make or break everything that follows. The ownership audit. I want you to honestly answer these questions. When did you last do something that genuinely excited you, independent of her? How many times this week did you choose her approval over your own standards? Are you still the man she first met, or have you morphed into who you think she wants? Here's a story that'll hit home. My friend Marcus was dating Sarah for about 3 months. In the beginning, he was training for a marathon, had guys' nights twice a week, and would sometimes be too busy with his business to text back immediately. She was fascinated by him, but then he got comfortable. He stopped training, canceled guys' nights when she was free, and started treating her like his whole world. Within 2 weeks, she started pulling away. The brutal truth. She didn't fall for the version of you that revolves around her. She fell for the version that had a life she wanted to be part of. The accountability questions. Did you abandon your goals to spend more time with her? Did you stop being challenging and start being accommodating? Did you give her all your attention without her having to earn it? The mindset shift. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding. Most guys make these mistakes because they think it's romantic. Society tells us that's what love looks like, but attraction operates on different rules than love. You can love someone by making them your world, but you attract someone by having a world they want to join. Become fascinating again. All right, here's where we rebuild from the ground up. But I'm going to tell you something counterintuitive. The goal isn't to get her back. The goal is to become the kind of man she can't ignore. Phase 1. Reclaim your identity, days 1 to 10. Start doing the things that made you interesting before you met her. What were you passionate about? What goals were you chasing? What made you feel alive? I don't care if it's rock climbing, learning guitar, building a business, or mastering chess. The specific activity doesn't matter. The energy does. Phase 2. Create mystery, days 11-20. This doesn't mean playing games. It means having a life so full and interesting that she naturally wonders what you're up to. Stop posting everything on social media. Stop being available every time she reaches out. Not because you're ignoring her, but because you're genuinely busy building something meaningful. Phase 3. Elevate your standards, days 21-30. This is the game changer. Start requiring more from everyone in your life, including her. Don't accept low-effort communication. Don't tolerate flaky behavior. Don't settle for breadcrumbs of attention. Real example. One guy I know started taking salsa dancing classes after his girlfriend started pulling away. Within 3 weeks, she was asking why he seemed so happy and confident lately. The dancing wasn't just a hobby. It was him reclaiming his joy and becoming interesting again. The psychology. When you become genuinely busy with meaningful activities, you naturally become less available. When you're less available, she has to work for your attention. When she has to work for it, she values it more. It's not manipulation, it's human nature. Sometimes the most powerful move is no move. Here's where most guys panic and do exactly the wrong thing. They start texting more, calling more, trying to fix things with words. But here's what you need to understand. You can't talk your way back into attraction. The 30-day reset. For the next 30 days, you're going radio silent. Not as punishment, not as a game, but as a reset. You're giving both of you space to remember who you are without the other person. What this accomplishes. It stops the negative momentum. Every needy text, every validation-seeking call was pushing her further away. Silence stops the bleeding. It creates curiosity. She's used to you being available, responsive, predictable. Your absence will make her wonder what changed. It gives you time to become interesting again. You can't rebuild attraction while you're still operating from the same energy that killed it. The rules. No texting. Calling or social media stalking, no. Asking mutual friends about her. No showing up at places. You know she'll be what to do. Instead, focus entirely on your own growth and goals. Reconnect. With friends you may have neglected. Start new projects or hobbies that genuinely excite you. Hit the gym, not to impress her, but to feel powerful. Date other people if you're single. This isn't about revenge, it's about options. The hardest part. Your brain will try to convince you that silence is pushing her away forever. But remember, the behavior that got you here won't get you out. Trust the process. How to re-enter her world as a different man. After 30 days of radio silence and self-improvement, you might be wondering, now what? Here's how to re-engage, but with completely different energy. The comeback message: don't apologize. Don't explain where you've been. Don't ask for another chance. Instead, send something like this. Hey, name, saw something today that reminded me of that conversation we had about specific shared memory. Hope you're doing well, that's it. Light, confident, no pressure, no agenda. Why this works. It shows you've been thinking about positive memories. Not dwelling on problems, it demonstrates confidence. You're not walking on eggshells. It opens the door without demanding she walk through it, if she responds positively. Don't rush back into old patterns. Suggest meeting up, but make it something active and interesting, not a heavy "let's talk about us" dinner. I'm checking out this new art exhibit downtown Saturday. You should come with me. Notice the language, and you should come, not would you like to come. Confident assumption, not needy request. If she doesn't respond or responds coldly, this is actually valuable information. It tells you that either she needs more time to notice your changes, she's moved on completely, The damage was more severe than you thought. In any case, your response is the same. Continue building your amazing life. Whether she's part of your future or not, you win. The new you in action. When you do reconnect, she should notice immediately that something's different. You're calmer, more confident, less needy. You have stories about interesting things you've been doing. You're not hanging on her every word or seeking her approval. Most importantly, you're evaluating whether she deserves a place in your life, not the other way around. This was never really about her. Here's the truth that might sting but will ultimately set you free. Her pulling away was the best thing that could have happened to you. Why? Because it exposed the areas where you had work to do. It showed you where you were operating from weakness instead of strength. It forced you to confront the parts of yourself that were sabotaging your success with women. The 3 levels of victory. Level 1, she comes back. Maybe she notices the changes, misses the new energy you're bringing, and wants to reconnect. Great. But now you're operating from a position of strength, not neediness. Level 2, she doesn't. But someone better does often. When you level up this dramatically, you attract someone even more compatible and amazing. The skills you developed don't just work on her, they work on all high-quality women. Level 3. You realize you don't need anyone's validation. This is the ultimate victory. You become so fulfilled by your own life, so confident in your own worth, that whether any particular woman is interested becomes irrelevant. The lifetime skill. What you've learned isn't just about this one situation. You now understand how to maintain your identity in relationships, how to create and maintain attraction long-term, how to respond to challenges from a position of strength, how to build a life so compelling that others want to be part of it. Real talk. Some of the happiest, most successful men I know went through this exact experience. It forced them to level up in ways they never would have otherwise. 5 years later, they look back and thank their ex for pulling away because it set them on the path to becoming their best selves. So here's your mission. Stop trying to figure out what she's thinking and start becoming the man she can't stop thinking about. Your 30-day challenge. Identify your mission. What were you passionate about before you met her? What do you want to build or become? Cut the digital leash. Delete her number for 30 days. Remove social media apps if you have to. Invest in yourself daily. Gym, books, skills, hobbies. Something every single day that makes you a more interesting person. Expand your social circle. Reconnect with old friends, make new ones. Remind yourself that the world is full of amazing people. Date your standards up. Whether it's friends, opportunities, or potential romantic interests, require more quality in every area of your life. The bottom line. The man who emerges from this process doesn't need her to come back because he's become someone that incredible women naturally chase. Whether she notices and comes back is irrelevant. You'll either be with someone who truly appreciates the amazing man you've become, or you'll be so fulfilled by your own life that being single feels like winning. Your choice. Stay where you are, hoping she'll come back to the old you, or become the version of yourself that never has to worry about anyone pulling away again. The question isn't whether she'll chase you. The question is, are you ready to become worth chasing?